Hello, it is 9 p.m. in RTD. It's time to English New Edition. For tonight headlines we have. The Djibouti Coast Guard warns of dangers of the Khamsin winds at sea. For the international scene, Hamas resistance ready for Gaza ceasefires. Welcome to our newsroom. Official reception is on the occasions of the Egypt National Day, marking the 73th anniversary of the July 23, 1952 revolution, hosted Thursday evening by the ambassador of the Arab Republic of Egypt to Djibouti, Mr. Hussam al-Din Reda. The event was held at Ela Hotel. The ceremony was attended by the Minister of Higher Education and Research, Dr. Nabil Mohammed Ahmed, as well as political, civil, and military figures, in addition to members of the diplomatic corps accredited to Djibouti and Egyptian nationals residing in the countries. Upon arrival, the guests were warmly welcomed by the ambassador of the Arab Republic of Egypt to Djibouti, surrounded by his close collaborators. The guests, for their part, expressed their joy and sharing with their Egyptian brothers the commemorations of this historic moment, praising Egypt's active and central role on the Arab and African stage as a sign of solidarity with the Palestinian people facing a humanitarian tragedy of dramatic proportions. A Palestinian national anthem was performed at the opening of the ceremony, preceding those of the Republic of Djibouti and the Arab Republic of Egypt. The Egyptian ambassador to Djibouti delivered a speech praising the death of the historical ties and common interests uniting the Arab Republic of Egypt and the Republic of Djibouti. The Egyptian diplomat took this opportunity to review the major exchanges visit between Djibouti and Egypt, particularly at the highest levels of both states, as well as the significant achievement of recent months, such as the inaugurations of Bank Misr and Egypt Air in Djibouti, as well as the laying of the foundation stone for the solar power plant project in the town of Omar Jaga. He also discussed the ongoing project in Egypt, particularly the upcoming opening of the Grand Egyptian Museums scheduled for November, as well as the candidacy of the Egyptian Dr. Khalid El Nani for the positions of the Director General of UNESCO. In conclusion, he expressed his thanks and deep gratitude to the government and people of Djibouti for the warm welcome and generous hospitality and facilities provided through recent years. For his part, the Minister of Higher Education and Research, Dr. Nabil Mohammed Ahmed, reaffirmed our country's commitment to strengthening and expanding cooperative relations with Egypt. On the occasion of the 73th anniversary of the Egyptian National Day, a special raffle was held, offering 3 lucky participants playing a ticket to Cairo, courtesy of Egypt Air. The winners will have the opportunity to discover the ancient treasures of Egyptian civilizations by visiting its most emblematic historical monuments and archaeological sites. This generous gesture was enthusiastically welcomed by the guests, who expressed their deep gratitude to the Egyptian embassy. The Republic of Djibouti officially acceded to the African Union Convention on the Elimination of Violence Against Women and Girls from Friday, July 4, 2025, after the Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary of the Republic of Djibouti to the Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia, His Excellency Abdi Mahmoud Abe, signed the convention during a ceremony held at the headquarters of the African Union Commissions in Addis Ababa in the presence of the representative of the AU Legal Counsel's offices. Thus, the Republic of Djibouti becomes the first country to have signed this convention since its adoption by member states at the third round ordinary sessions of the African Union held in February 2025. The signing of this convention constitutes a landmark event in the protection of women and girls on the continent. It also constitutes a symbolic event because 5 months after the appointment of a Djiboutian to the head of the African Union Commission, the Republic of Djibouti wanted to lead the way and set an example for the rest of the continent, which is expected to accede to the convention in the coming weeks and months. The Intec school hosted a closing ceremony for a unique training course dedicated to the use of soroban, the traditional Japanese abakish. This educational program delivered by the volunteers from JICA, Japan International Cooperation Agency, aimed to introduce Djiboutian teachers to this ancestral tool for its integrations into the daily mathematics teachings of young students. The ceremony was attended by the Japanese ambassador to Djibouti and JICA representative, demonstrating Japan's ongoing commitment to educational development in Djibouti. During the event, the trained teachers gave a practical demonstration of the soroban, clearly illustrating its effectiveness in teaching mental calculations. The performance clearly impressed the Japanese ambassador, who praised the participants' adaptability and enthusiasm. The ceremony concluded with the presentations of certificates to the teachers who completed the trainings in a friendly atmosphere. Speaking, the director of Intec School emphasized the importance of such initiatives which promote pedagogical innovation and teacher capacity building. For his part, the Japan ambassador to Djibouti in turn expressed his satisfaction with the success of this training. He highlighted the values of exchanges and friendly friendship that unite Japan and Djibouti. The beginning of summer seasons always coincides with the start of the strong Hamsin winds which agitate the sea and make maritime navigation risky. In this regard, the Djibouti Coast Guard wishes to remind sea users, particularly recreational boaters and fishermen, to exercise increased vigilance during their sea trip and to carefully monitor the daily weather forecasts. These sea users must also ensure strict compliance with the current regulations, including the availability of mandatory safety equipment on board their boat. Otherwise, they may face punitive administrative measures. The toll-free emergency number 150 is available 24 hours 7, and the Djibouti Coast Guard is available to answer any questions and requests you may have. The launch of the summer tournament in Mulud, the official launch ceremony was held at Mulud Multi-Sport Facility in the presence of the State Secretary for Sport, Regional Director Mr. Omar Hassan Abdullahi, accompanied by his delegation. The tournament kicked off after a closely contested opening match between Chelsea and Manchester United. Chelsea won 2-1. To the applause of the large crowd. This tournament is part of the initiative to support and develop local youth during the summer holidays. It aims to provide a space for healthy, educational and inclusive entertainment while also encouraging the discovery of a new sporting talent and promoting regional sport by continuing its towers through rural communities. An official monitoring and evaluation visit was held in Calafa, also marking the official launch of activities for the project strengthening the economic empowerment of Calaf women through sustainable agriculture. This project is funded by the International Organization of Francophonie as part of its La Francophonie avec Elle programs and implemented by the group by the Women's Group Association. This ceremony was attended by the prefect of the region, Mr. Mohammed Hamid Abbas, and the vice president of the regional council, Mr. Abdul Qadir, and the director Musa. The missions brought together local authorities, institutional representatives, technical partners, and members of Calaf community. It provided an opportunity to assess the project initial progress, including agricultural training, the first distributions of agricultural kits, practical composting demonstration, and effort to structure the Women's Agricultural Cooperative. The day's programs featured official speeches, direct discussions with the beneficiaries, and guided tours of the plot supported by the project. For her part, the president of the Women Association, Nasro Abbas, praised the project participatory approaches its positive social impact from the early stages and its alignment with the regional development priority. The women of Calaf expressed their motivation and commitment to sustain the project's achievement through sustainable cooperative dynamic. For his part, the prefect of the Tajura region, Mohammed Hamid Abbas, said that the women of Calaf expressed their motivation and commitment to sustaining the project's achievement through sustainable cooperative dynamic. This day highlighted the importance of local and international partnership for the empowerment of rural women and inclusive development in arid environment. Driven by a fierce desire to develop women's football, the Federation is leading a campaign to popularize the national women's football strategy. The popularization workshop was opened in the presence of more than 100 women from all walks of life by the Vice President of the Regional Council, Mr. Abdul Qadir Umar, and the President of the Women Football Commissions and members of the FDF Steering Committee, Ms. Fathi Osman, and Saeed Buha, President of the Tajura Regional Football League, and President of the League Commissioners and members of the Steering Committee. The Tajura workshop marks a decisive step for the development of women's football in our country. This strategy, the results of rigorous work conducted by international and national experts, lays the foundations for a profound and lasting transformation of women's football in Djibouti. For the international scene, deadly Israeli strikes, nearly 14 deaths, including civilians waiting for humanitarian aid. The Israeli army carried out a series of bloody strikes on the Gaza Strip Friday morning, killing at least 37 people, according to the medical sources. The victims included 15 civilians waiting for humanitarian aid to be distributed. One of the deadliest attacks took place at the Tal al-Tahliya roundabout east of Khan Yunis, where 15 people died and 90 others were injured while queuing for food. Despite repeated calls for the international community for a ceasefire, the Israeli army continues its deadly offensive against Gaza, a war that has claimed the lives of more than 57,100 Palestinians, mostly women and children. And this is it for the news. Thanks for watching us. Have a good evening.